everyone, Karen here, and it is time for nesting die layout number 7. Now today we are back again with the rectangular set of 12 nesting dies from Crafter's Companion that I've had for a few years now. Now today I'm going to make a shaker card. Now I'm just going to be using the 8th and 9th dies in the set. Those are the only ones I'm going to be using for the front of the card. On the inside of the card I will be using number 12 and number 11 for the inside. So let me show you what paper I have ready here. So I have, of course, I have a piece of acetate, which I've stuck a piece of tape on so I can keep track of it. I have a 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 for a mat layer. I have a 4 1/2 by 6 1/2 that has daisies on it. And for the shaker part, I have these little daisy shaker elements that I printed on my 3D printer. And I also have some clear ones that I'm going to put in there. Now this is going to be a thank you card, and the front is going to say, "Kindness like Daisy spreads beauty all around." I thought that was kind of nice. And this is 3 3/4 by 1, and the yellow is 4 by 1 1/4. Alright, so let's get started here. Let me move this out of the way. Let me grab the 2 nesting dies I need, which is 8 and 9, counting from the inside. And the first thing I'm going to do is tape these 2 together. I want to get these nice and even, kind of like that. Like that. And I'm going to put another piece of tape on the top. Now I am going to cut this out so I have a frame. Alright, so let me run this through my machine. Alright, so let's take this out. So now we have a frame, a thin frame, and I have this piece. I may save this for later. I don't think I'm going to need to use that. So we have our frame. So now we need to decide where we want to cut the hole into the front of our card. So this is going to be on the bottom, and this is going to be up here. So if I cut this out of 8 and 9, I want to cut the hole for my card, the shaker part of it, out of the smaller die that I use. So since this is 8 and 9, I'm going to use the 8th one out. Yep, inside. Alright, so we have that one. So this is going to be here. And this is going to be about here. So I want to have this distance here and this distance to be about the same. So I'm thinking about there. Alright, so let's take the die, and we're going to put this about here. So this will be like this. Except the frame is on here. Yep, that will be good. Alright, so let's get this in the middle. And let's get this taped down and cut out. Alright, now let me run this through my machine. Alright, so we have our hole. And now I have this, which I definitely will keep for something else. Put that to the side. Now let's get the acetate. Alright, now I'm going to leave that tape on there for a minute. Now I'm going to put some of this tear tape. You can use red liner tape, tear tape. Anything that's a dry adhesive will get the job done quickly. You can use liquid, but it is going to take it a hot minute to dry. So for the sake of the video, I am going to go ahead and just use dry adhesive for this. But tacky tape will dry. It just takes it a minute. Okay. Alright, make sure this is all stuck on here really well so the tape peels off easily. Now where is my acetate? There we go. So this I can trim a little bit off the bottom. So if this is going to start up here and come down here, I can cut this a little bit off on the bottom here. Now it really is disappearing. So let's pull this tape off. So now, let's take this and we will cover the back. There we go. Now I'm going to use the 1/8 foam. This is the thicker foam. Usually you'll see me use 1/16 foam, but for a shaker card, I'm going to use the thicker one. So we're going to come down the side. Now with a shaker, of course, you want to make sure you have no open spaces. So I'm going to mash that right up against there, come across, cut that, mash it right up against there again, and come up. Now hopefully I left that wide enough. Let's see. Yep, we're good. Alright, let me cut this off straight. And I will mash this right in here. And there we go. Okay. So now our shaker will be in here. So let's take the 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. And this is going to be on here like this. So now there's two ways we can go about this at this point. You can either pour everything here and put this on like this, or you can put it on like this. I find it a little easier to go like this so I can see what I'm doing. So let's take our clear. I think I want about that much, I think, because I kind of want this pretty full. I'm going to put a little more. Make sure that's all staying in the middle here. Now I'm going to take some of the flowers. Now I'm going to take a handful of those. Put those in here. Make sure they're all facing forward. Kind of mix that up a little bit. All right. Move that all in. That will be good. Yep, and that will go right on there. Push that up a little bit. Yep, that will be fine. Alright, now we're going to pull this off. Now I'm going to turn this sideways just so I can get a better look at it, because this is a one-time stick. Put my head in here. I am going to lay that down. There we go. Now one thing I forgot to do is I did not put any support down here, so I need to put one more strip of foam all the way across the length of this card. I'm just going to flip this over, pull this back so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to put some foam on here. Pull that off, pull that down, because I forgot to support the bottom. Alright, so now we have a shaker card with daisies in it on daisy paper. How fun is that? Yeah, I've been doing a lot of 3D printing. I'm really enjoying it. Alright, so now we have the 4 1/4, and we have the Kindness Like Daisy Spreads Beauty All Around. So this is 1/8. I still can go another 1/8 and still be okay for shipping in the United States, because you do get a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to put some thin 1/16 foam behind this. Now I only want to put one layer on here, So I'm thinking, let's see, put that down, put this on foam, erase the whole thing. I think I'm going to glue it together and put the whole thing on foam. So once again, this was 3 3/4 by 1. And I'm putting it on the 4 by 1 1/4. There we go. Now this is going to go on foam. The 1/16 foam, which is very skinny, but it just gives it a little lift. So we'll put a strip across here. And we'll put some on the bottom. Just like that. Alright, now we'll peel off the packing. This will get stuck to the bottom. Actually, before I stick that on, let me put the frame on. So this is the frame we cut first, so I'm going to put glue on the back of this, all the way around. So this frame, the inside of this frame will match this hole, so we're just going to line it all up. Like that. Nudge that up a little bit, because sometimes when you die cut it, it does get a little stretched out. So we'll just nudge that all in place. There we go. Now, if you ever have trouble lining these up, what you can do is make your opening one more die. Let me rephrase that. If you ever have trouble getting frames on here, what you can do is you can use 3 dies instead of 2. And what you would do is cut your opening out of the middle die and make your frame out of the smallest and the biggest die. And that way it's a little bit easier to put on sometimes. So if you have trouble, try that. There we go. Alright. This will go on the bottom. Like this. Now, let me see if I want to put one more daisy on here. You know what? I think I do want to put a couple on here. I think I'm going to take 3 and put them in a little group over here. This is just tacky glue. And we'll just put some on here. And we'll put one here. One over here. A little bit more. And we'll put the third one over here. There we go. And that's just going to need to dry a little bit. We'll just give that a second. So now this goes on the card. Let me put this to the side and let it dry. Let's grab in our card blank. Make sure this is shut. Alright, so let's talk about the inside of the card for a minute. So, you've seen me do this before in the series. I have number 12 in a solid color. I have number 11 with a message on it. But I thought you could dress it up a little bit more, because I had this scrap, and if I didn't use it in the card, I probably would throw it in the trash. So what I was thinking is I'm going to put this over here about a third, and then I'm going to put this on top of it like that, just to give it a little bit more something, because this would end up in the trash if I don't use this. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. because I kind of have a self-imposed rule that if a piece of scrap is smaller than the palm of my hand, I don't keep it and I throw it out. Because I used to keep every little scrap I had, and it was just way too much. So now if it's not the size of the palm of my hand, it goes in the trash. Alright, so we'll put this down here. Let me glue these together. This will be in the middle. Like that. That looks good. Then this will just be here. This will go on top, right in the middle. Just like that. So now all we have left to do is to attach this to the top. Hoping that's had enough time to dry. If not, I'll put some more glue on it later. Because when you 3D print the plastic pieces, they do take a minute to dry. But tacky glue does hold them. Alright, and this is a 5x7 card base, and this is 4 3/4, so I'll have a little border around it. So let me get this in the center. There we go. Shake a card. Kindness like Daisy spreads beauty all around. Your kindness meant the world to me. Thank you. There we go. Nice little thank you card. So I hope you liked this card. If you did, give me a thumbs up. And I hope you are enjoying this series. And if you did, please subscribe to my channel. And until next time, stay crafty.